No. 6 LSU entered Death Valley on Saturday afternoon in its first game since winning the national championship with the goal of proving to the world that there wouldn't be a big drop-off despite massive roster and coaching turnover. The Tigers left with their tails between their legs as the first defending champion to lose its next game since Michigan in 1998. Mississippi State steamrolled LSU 44-34 in a game that saw Bulldogs quarterback KJ Costello set SEC records against a defense that had no answers for him. Costello was 36 of 60 for 623 yards with 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Those 623 yards set a single-game SEC record and made Costello the first quarterback in league history to top a 600-yard mark. It was the 11th most yards passing registered in FBS history. 3 different players had more than 100 receiving yards for the Bulldogs, with Osirus Mitchell, 183, 2 touchdowns, leading the way. Costello hit Mitchell for a 24-yard score with 3:39 to play, pushing Mississippi State's lead to 10 points and essentially iced the game. MSU's running backs carried the ball just 10 times in the game for a net of 9 yards thanks to multiple Costello sacks, though star rusher Kylin Hill had 192 total yards with a receiving touchdown. LSU quarterback Myles Brennan, in his first game as a starter, was no slouch with 345 yards, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks on 27 of 46 passing. Leading receiver Terrance Marshall Jr. caught 8 of those passes for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here are the top 4 takeaways from Mississippi State's big win over LSU. It's easy to say that any quarterback in Mike Leach's offense will be successful. After all, most of them have. But Costello wasn't a product of the system on Saturday afternoon in Death Valley. The system thrived because of the product that Costello provided. It doesn't matter what system a quarterback is in. Costello was money over the middle, across the field and, most importantly, deep downfield to wide receivers in stride nearly every time. They call third down the money down. Well, Costello was 7 of 11 for 194 yards on third down. That'll do nicely. It's one thing for a quarterback in a Leach system to put up video game numbers in the Pac-12 or Big 12. It's an entirely different thing to do it in the SEC against the defending national champions. Get used to Costello's name being included in the Heisman Trophy conversation. If you read my prediction story from earlier this week, you know that I doubted whether Leach's system, which spreads everybody out all over the field, would work in the SEC considering the size and speed that exists along defensive lines in the conference. I was wrong, way wrong. Mississippi State is going to make opposing defensive coordinators sweat all season long. Costello's performance was great. Perhaps more important, or equally important, is the fact that he did so with a receiving core that was severely lacking in experience.